Hello friends, good morning. Welcome to Astra, the daily current affairs from the Hindu, exclusively for Union Public Service Commission Civil Services Examination. Today it is 4th of April 2023. Let's quickly discuss about what are the things that you have in today's newspaper as far as the current affairs is considered. So Surat Court grants bail to Rahul. It suspends its sentence. Now a Sessions Court of Surat has suspended the sentence. Now it is going to hear to suspend the conviction or not. That will be dealt on April 13th. So this will be a regular affair again. Already we have seen what are the things that has happened with Rahul Gandhi in a separate video. Telangana launches school roof policy. Already in Hyderabad it is very hot. So now Telangana government is the first one in the world, in the country, to launch this school roof policy. What is the school roof policy? Cooling the roofs by using some cooling technologies like some white paints, varnishes. So these type of things will be utilized, and the Telangana government wants to launch this school roof policy. Only two things in the front page, you do not have much. Going into the directly the so-called the news, EWS quota is economic justice, could never be a social justice. Now, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, Mr. Stamil, has been vehemently opposing the economic reservations that was given by the central government. Now, he has been questioning that economic backwardness is backwardness not only in the upper caste but is also in the lower caste, like scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, minorities. Now he is questioning the legality. How can the government restrict certain sections of economically poor in the name of caste? So EWS quota is economic justice, could never be a social justice. If it is economic justice, the justice has to be given to everyone, including the weaker sections. But as you know, economically weaker sections is only for those guys who are in the upper categories, who have not covered in the existing reservation system. So he is questioning exactly the same thing. And in this context, he is saying that we cannot support this EWS bill. If it is there, if it has to be there for everyone. But these type of class-based legislations are not going to work in India as per Mr. Stalin's argument. Unrest grips Bihar districts over violence during Ram Navami. You can use these two things. Amid disruptions, Rajya Sabha passes competition bill. You can use these two things in economics, in ethics. So religion is being used for some political mileage. Whenever religion is used for political milestones, this can be considered not as secularism. It is a good indication of communalism which is happening. So at Bihar, there was some violences that has happened on Ram Janmabhoomi or on the Ram Navami, sorry. So in this context, it was given this article. You can use this in ethics. Finland turns to the right. So elections were held in Finland, and Finland has chosen the far right parties to lead the government. In this context, Finland has reached one step close to become the member of NATO. So soon it may become the member of NATO. For this year prelims, NATO members are very important. Russia-Ukraine borders are important. Belarus borders are very, very important. So this is the thing that you have to see. Philippines allows 4 more military bases to US troops. And again, US is not being calm. It is stirring the waters, and it is enhancing the so-called enhancing the aggressive behavior of China. Philippines allots 4 more military bases to US troops. By allotting them, obviously China is going to retaliate in this. Chinese spy balloon gathered intelligence on US military sites. So recently we have seen this spy balloon which has flown over Patagonia district. In this context, they are saying that it has spied US military sites. Arctic scientists race to preserve ice memory. Now, what these people are doing before the green revolution, or as green revolution is, sorry, not green revolution, as global warming is increasing, ice of Antarctica and Arctic seas are melting. So they wanted to preserve the ice which is present at that point of time. The ancient ice which was frozen in Antarctica and Arctic, they wanted to freeze, store it. Now what they are doing, they are drilling it, they are taking the pure ice which was present in the Arctic Sea and they wanted to preserve it. So this is again a challenge. Why to drill it and cause more melting now itself? Manufacturing PMI rose to 3 months high in March. S&P Global Survey shows manufacturing firms new orders output advanced. So these are the things that is in news. So they can ask the question called Who gives this purchases managers index? At the global level, Standard & Poor Global will give S&P index, S&P PMI index, but in India it is given by IHS market. Right now, it will be from 0 to 100. If it is less than 50, it is a sign of contraction. If it is more than 50, it is a sign of expansion. Oil surges as OPEC plus surprise output cuts share market. Now, OPEC and OPEC plus are really important this year, right? OPEC plus are those countries who have oil resource but are not a part of OPEC, OPEC. In this context, OPEC plus along with Russia has decided to cut down the oil supply. As a result, the prices have suddenly increased for all-time high in this year. So after this, in the text and context page, the demand for Scottish independence. Recently, there has been a change in the political domain of Scotland. Now, these Scotland people are asking that they wanted to get independence from United Kingdoms. So again, this is a recurring event. In this text and context, they have clearly said how the Scotland and England has come together and formed this federation. Now, what is the demand of Scotland? Why it is asking to go out? Obviously, after UK has came out of the European Union, the problems of UK has risen, and these people, Scotland people, are also asking that we want to go outside England. So these are the demands. No need to remember that. But our colonial master, who has ruled India and many colonies, has been in a decimating stage at this point of time. This is very evident. After this, on defamation law, a blow against freedom of speech and expression. This is one of the best articles to read in today's newspaper. So on defamation law, a blow against freedom of speech and expression. This is telling about how defamation laws in India has been consistently violating the fundamental right to speech. Now, this is the debate between Article 21 of Indian Constitution, which guarantees the right to personal liberty and right to life, whereas Article 19, Clause 1, Section A says that there should be right to freedom of speech and expression. Now, this freedom of speech and expression as per Article 19, Clause 2 has some restrictions of defamation also. So, over a period of time, the Supreme Court has given more importance to the so-called Article 21, but not to Article 19. So the author says that death by Article 21. What do you mean by death by Article 21? Death by Article 21 means because of this ever expanding Article 21 provisions, the other rights have been becoming or sacrificing at the altar of Article 21. Hence, death by Article 21. So what these people are telling is, Supreme Court has been giving much importance to Article 21 considering the other rights. However, the colonial British law, that is called criminal defamation, should not have been in the statute book so far, but it is very unfortunate for the Supreme Court to continue. This was written by Gautam Bhatia. This is one of the best articles to read in today's newspaper. Scotland is not important. So we have already seen this. Oil surges, Arctic size memory, EWS quota, unrest grips in Bihar. Farmers rally against center tomorrow. Tomorrow the center farmers have called for a rally against the central government. Now why they are fighting against the central government? Because the central government, as per these trade unions, particularly the farmers, industrial trade unions and the so-called academicians, what they are telling is the government is blindly supporting its discredited policies of gifting the corporates. So it is working for corporates by gifting them some things. What are the things? Corporate tax reductions, selling of public sector assets at a very throwaway prices, dismantling protective labor laws, writing off huge corporate loans and inviting predatory foreign capital into the country's market and strategic industries. By doing all these things, it is, as per these people, it is killing the market, and hence they are agitating it. So the fundamental and basic classes of society, particularly the agriculturals, industrial workers and laborers, they are fighting against the government tomorrow. We have to wait and watch what it is going to turn out and how it is going to have a repercussion effects in the society. Just 9.3% of all the loans under Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi scheme was given to vendors. What is this Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi? Street vendor assistant microcredit scheme. It was launched in the year 2020 to support the street vendors. These street vendors have hit very hard during COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, the government of India, central government, thought that to give 10,000 rupees collateral free loans However, you have to pay interest rate for this. Subsequently, the loans can be increased to 20,000 and 50,000 rupees respectively at 7% interest rate. Now, out of all the data, it is telling that of all the amount that has been given, only less than 8% has been, or less than 10% have been given to minorities. Only government can take a call on pleas of disqualified lawmakers, Election Commission tells Supreme Court. Now, this is after a member becomes disqualified under section, the so-called the sections of Parliament of India Act, that is Representations of Peoples Act 1951, Section 8, Clause 3. Once you are becoming disqualified, how exactly is it going to be the repercussions, whether Election Commission of India has any say in this? Election Commission of India can decide whether a person can be disqualified or not. Until that extent, Election Commission of India has, but it have no power to amend the article and say that you cannot make a member of parliament who is disqualified. You cannot disqualify a person just on conviction. So political parties asked the Election Commission to look into this. Election Commission said that it is not in our domain. It is in the domain of Parliament to make the law. If they want to change, they can change it. So here they have given, already we have discussed which article says this thing. State of rights are cause of concern, already we have discussed about it. Why India should cut down salt intake. This is not for your UPSC, but this is for our regular enlightenment. So many of us will eat more salts, or sodium intake is very high. Because of this sodium intake, so as per WHO, an adult should take less than 5 grams of sodium every day. But recently WHO has observed in its report known as Global Report on Sodium Intake Reduction. This is the report that it has given. In this, WHO has clearly said that in India there is huge amount of sodium that has been consumed. Because of this, the cardiovascular diseases are increasing, the hypertension of the people are increasing, and as a result this is causing many diseases. So what the authors are telling is, please cut down your salt intake. Next, time to put price on carbon emissions. Not much article. There are only 3 things saying that Government of India should go for more tax collections on the carbon emissions. And he has said that there are 3 types of systems in which carbon tax is collected. One way is, in order to reduce carbon emissions, there are 3 ways. One way is to establish carbon tax. So collect more tax in those industries which are producing more amount of carbon. The second one is emission trading mechanism, as is followed by in European Union and China. And the third one is import tariff. Apply import tariff on carbon content. So 2 things are indirectly dealing with the taxes. The other one is exchange emission trading system, which was said as per Kyoto Protocol. Right? These are the only things that you have. Nothing is more important. A fresh COVID data interpretation approach, not important for us. Leave it. Lives at stake. Recently, a cab driver was killed. A truck driver was killed by a mob, saying that this person was carrying the beef or cows. In this context, the cow vigilantism has been increasing. As a result, it is a very high time that the center and the state governments, particularly the court, should look into this loss, and judicial restraints on legislation should think about it. What legislations are saying? Legislations are saying that you have to stop beef trade. As a result, it is stigmatization of Dalits, Muslims and tribals for their dietary habits. So we all know that in their dietary habits, they have a proper beef consumption. Now, if we are making a law restricting this, it is going to become a very hurdle for these marginalized social sections. Now, this is going to cause some great damage to the people. As a result, judiciary should reach into this and stop this cow vigilantism. A balancing act. This is about Finland elections and Finland going towards NATO. Not important for us. So these are the things that you have in the today's current affairs, guys. If there is one article which is really important, you can go through the defamation article, and you can just have a look at the headings that I have underlined. You can download this copy from the description box. Just look at the headings. You can use in GS paper 1 to GS paper 4 as per the need of the subject. Thanks for joining, guys. Have a great day.